All right, here we go. All right, welcome back. Episode 36.
The Bettis
We're
episode.
The what?
The Bettis episode.
The baddest episode.
The bus. The
The
goat.
bus.
I'm trying to think.
Even though it's a different sport.
It don't matter.
Yeah,
This is the
who's-
best episode ever because Bettis is on it.
It don't matter when it comes to the bus, right?
No, Bettis is everything. His name Bettis. Jerome Bettis.
Who's a good number 36 in the MLB? I mean, I guess we should think of it that way, shouldn't we?
I'm trying to think.
David Cone.
David Cohn's a good one. Actually.
The only one.
I'm
This
mad
one
that
is
we missed.
random.
I'm mad we missed this last episode because we could have got the big hurt 35 Frank Thomas.
Yep.
This
What
one's
was the
really
Kurt Schilling
random.
36?
I refuse to acknowledge that douche.
Come on, the bloody sock. You
No.
gotta acknowledge the bloody sock.
He needs
Jared
a bloody
Weaver?
mouth.
Jared Weaver.
Jared
I think
Weaver's
he's
Jared Weaver.
36. Because
Yeah.
I wanted to design my pitching windup after him, how he hid the ball, and I remember just seeing the back of his jersey all the time.
Historically, there's Gaylord Perry.
He's not bad.
Historically, but we're born way after him. So Jared Weaver's probably the best one.
I like Jared Weaver. That's a good one.
I'm trying
They're
to
probably
think
one or
Oh.
two were missing.
Jose Ozuna was 36, the big dog. That's who it was.
I knew
There
we
you
were
go.
missing something.
Yeah.
We're always missing one. We're always, we always.
Oh,
I mean, didn't someone forget Mike Trout?
yeah.
Yeah.
We all did.
I think we could go back through all. We called it the
Trout.
Leonard Fournette episode. I think.
Yeah. I think I missed that episode.
Oh God.
I was asking you guys what the name should be, and you said something, and I was like, "Wait a second, it was 27. You forgot about Mike Trout?"
Yeah. And then the next episode we opened up apologizing about it because we're like, we're sorry, goat.
Yeah, we got a lot of letters in the mail that week. They're
Yeah.
They're pretty bad. They're
A lot,
pretty
lot
bad.
of negative comments on the message board.
I got a couple angry emails.
HR even called us in and was like, how could you do
Yep.
such a thing? Like Marsha and Chip were not happy.
Well, we'll have to do some
They were-
research on 37 and 38, 39, all the way through. Because we got how many months? We got over 6 months worth of episodes because baseball's
Yeah.
starting in 2 days.
Baseball is starting in 2 days, guys, which means one thing. It's time for the predictions episode.
Prediction time! My favorite time of the year.
Do we remember who did anyone get it right last year? I mean, I think we all picked the Dodgers. Brooks, did you pick the Dodgers?
I have it up on my Excel sheet. I think I picked the Yankees, but I'm going back in history.
I think I picked the Dodgers over the Rays, but I'm probably wrong. I think I took the Yankees too.
Wait,
I
are we
think I took-
talking about our here, let me go back.
Our
and look.
preseason predictions.
All right, let me see. Because I'm going to keep an Excel sheet this year and we can revisit it throughout it, but I'm going back.
I definitely picked the Twins now I think about it. Which I would not have if I would have known that they have not won a playoff series in over 18 years.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
They're bad.
They're frauds. As soon as they get in, they're
Hey,
frauds.
hey,
They melt.
The one thing we can say about the Twins in the playoffs last year was, Plum native, good old Alex Kirilloff made his MLB debut out in right field for the Twins. First MLB hit, did us proud here in the Berg.
There's someone else.
And-
Someone else I believe is from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Randy Dobnak. He got a full team
Dobnak.
invite.
He got
Brandon
a contract
McKay,
extension.
Brandon McKay with the Rays. He's from Blackhawk.
Yeah. Neil Walker.
Got a couple,
I guess,
couple
plays
guys.
in the
Yeah,
league.
obviously Neil Walker. I mean, he's been in the league forever. He'll always be the Pittsburgh kid. You find those predictions, Brooksy?
No, I sent it to you guys over text last
Okay.
summer, and I got a new phone since then. So if somebody has our text thread that goes all the way back, you can look through all the pictures.
I actually got a new phone today, so I probably won't have it.
I probably
this
won't
year-
have it either. I got a new phone as well.
Well,
I'm
Well, we all
scrolling
predicted
today,
it.
but
yeah, we all had the Dodgers last year, so we'll just go from there. We were all right. We all saw it in the writing. I mean, it could happen again this year. Who knows? But we all saw it from the beginning. But I mean, new year, obviously. COVID isn't as strong as it was. It's going to be a different type of year again this year. So I mean, we can start in the American League tonight. I think it's going to be interesting. Where do you guys want to start? AL East, AL Central, or the AL West?
Let's move east to west.
All right, so we'll go with the AL East. So we got the Baltimore Orioles, the Toronto Blue Jays, Tampa Bay Rays, the Boston Red Sox, and the New York Yankees. So obviously, I think we can start with the Orioles because we all know where this one is going. They're kind of been, going through the bottom of the bottom of the division the last couple of years. They haven't been very good. Is this the year they turn it around, or is it going to be the same old Orioles, guys?
define turning around.
Uh,
Not in the
are they going to be
basement?
better than? Are they going to be better than the Pirates?
Yes.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so
As a
too.
Pirates fan, I really hope so.
I mean, I think the two things that the Orioles really have, this year to look forward to. I mean, first off, like Trey Mancini coming back after his time away from cancer last year, and then maybe not for like a lot of action, but whenever Adley Rutschman comes up to the major leagues, like other than those two storylines, I'm not sure what else Baltimore is pulling for other than, the same thing us Pirates fans are pulling for.
Yeah, and it's a team in transition. They got some talent there. I mean, Trey Mancini, him coming back's a great story, but Anthony Santander, he should be providing some pop. I don't know how young he is, but I know Ryan Mountcastle is another guy who they expect, to be a big part of their core in their future. But you hit the nail on the head, Brooksy. Everyone's waiting for Adley Rutschman to come up and see what he can do. So, John Means, I'm curious to see what he can do as well because he actually wasn't bad last year.
Mhm.
He showed some flashes, so I'm curious. But I mean, as far as like everything goes, like Max said, it's hard to imagine a team not being a cellar dweller, especially in this division.
It's funny to see like how far the Orioles. I don't want to say how far they've come, but how quickly it's changed for them. So I mean, it was just a couple years ago where they were, they had Manny Machado, Chris Davis was going through his power swing. Buck Showalter, obviously one of the better managers in the league. They had, Adam Jones out roaming center field for Baltimore. Like they had all these pieces, and now they're just at the bottom, not doing really anything. Sometimes it's kind of sad to see, but you see these franchises kind of go through those turns every once in a while, obviously, and this is obviously another one of those times for the Orioles. But we can move on to see here. What?
I did get a new phone, but like I still have our text thread somehow. So I went to go through it, but I accidentally backed out. That was in the month of September. I'm gonna do this all over again. You can do this. I've been sitting here just scrolling.
You can do this. Go to
just search it.
Go here. Go hit the I under info of our thread. Go down. It has the list of all the photos.
Oh my god, it's in photo form.
Yeah.
Bro, I could have did. Oh man, this saves so much time. All right, I have our predictions. If you guys want to backtrack. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick.
So, World Series, Dre had Dodgers over Twins in 6. Mac had Dodgers over Yanks in 6. And Brooksy had Yanks over Dodgers in 7.
Oof.
Division winners. Me, Yankee. We all had the Yankees, and we'll stop there because I'll say the winners as we go through divisions.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So I mean, going next. I guess we'll. I guess we kind of have to go to the Red Sox. I mean, it's kind of sad to say in a way, for myself at least, but they might be the second worst team in this division.
That might be top 5 worst teams in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I
I
mean
know
they
they have
have.
some talent. I know they got some talent, but like, it's just hard to imagine being successful in this division. That's
No,
what's really
I
killing me.
I completely agree with you, Dre. I mean, Chris Sale is supposed to come back at some point, but like when he's not in the lineup or when he's not in the rotation, they don't really have anyone. I mean, Eduardo Rodriguez is probably their best pitcher at this point. We're still waiting to see Nathan Eovaldi, see if he can actually do anything.
He looked good this spring.
I
will say
huh?
that he looked really good this spring.
Eovaldi, yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't been too bad. And then, I mean, but you have a guy like Eduardo Rodriguez who is returning from like a mishap with COVID that gave him a heart issue. He wasn't even sure if he was supposed to be able to come back to play this year. So to see him back on the mound is pretty cool. But I mean, they've kind of gone through all of these changes in the past since they won the World Series 2 years ago. So I mean, you still have JD Martinez at first base or at DH. You still have Xander Bogaerts at shortstop. Dustin Pedroia is retired. Sad to see. He's my guy. Rafael Devers is obviously out there. They got a couple other guys in the mix. But I mean, it's just kind of strange to see the turn. But Kyle Bloom is cleaning up the salary cap. He's doing a couple of different things. So we'll see how that pays off. But there is one thing I want to see if you guys saw this. But I saw an article the other day about Andrew Benintendi, and he came out and he basically, from the year they won the World Series to the next year, he put on like 20 pounds of muscle or something like that, just to start hitting more home runs and stuff like that. And it was his agent's decision. He basically told him to put on more muscle so he could hit more home runs, get more money.
His agent told him to do that?
Yeah, and so Alex Cora, in a interview recently, Alex Cora came out and said that the organization had like no say in it. They didn't tell him to do it or anything like that, and it completely messed up his swing, which is why his numbers kind of dipped this past year.
Benny biceps too big.
Yeah, Benny biceps too big.
He got traded, didn't he? Yeah, he's
in
Kansas
he's on the
City.
Royals.
Okay,
but that's why his numbers dipped the past 2 years, was because of putting on so much weight completely messed up his swing from that.
Did he fire his agent?
I don't think so. No.
His agent's probably his girlfriend that likes the muscles. All right, listen here, kids. Don't lift weights. You'll hit the ball.
That's not what got Benintendi to the major league level. Like, I understand his coaches need to tell him what to do, not his agent. And that's the part that gets me. Like, your agent's supposed to handle one side and one side only, and that's the business side of the game. Like, that's what you get paid to do. You don't get paid to tell somebody how to run their body and things like that. Because clearly it didn't work. Mm-hmm. But like, even if it did work, you still don't tell them that. Like, it's just not. Yeah. That's not your forte. That's not your cup of tea. Stick to my contracts, homie.
Yeah. So so that came out. I just thought that was an interesting note because obviously his numbers dipped, his production dipped the last couple of years, which ended up him. I think he's going. This is a contract year for him. So they might have got rid of him at the right time. They might have not got rid of him at the time if he doesn't, fix that. But we'll see. But obviously, who knows what the Red Sox are going to do this year? It doesn't seem like they're going to do much with everything that's going on there. They're going to clean stuff up and see how it goes from there. But
one thing of note that we haven't mentioned is the criminal Alex Cora is coming back.
Hey,
after his year of thinking about his role in some scandal.
He's not a criminal. He's not a criminal. He served a suspension.
Alex Cora will be back, and I think this will be a team that they're probably the fourth most interesting in their division, but I think that's still, I wouldn't put them too far out of the picture in terms of maybe sneaking into a wild card spot. But I'm curious, Greg.
I would
81 games over or under. How many?
I would say then 5 games at 500.
I said over 81.
I'm going to say on the over side. I'll say on the over side.
You're taking the over on this team?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
I would too.
No, Dre, I'm not.
They're in that 83.
How can you do that?
Yeah, I think they're right around 500. I'm gonna.
But you're taking the over of 81.
Dre, if if the Pirates were in the position the Red Sox are, okay, and you had to guess 500 as a Pirates fan, you would say the positive side, wouldn't you?
No,
No,
hell
obviously.
no. Bro, you don't want to be in that limbo. You want to see some direction. Now, the cool thing about the Sox is like they have the money to spend, so you can't really
Yeah.
compare the franchises. The point is that like if you look at this team as currently constructed, and you put them up against the Yankees, Rays, and
They're gonna lose.
Blue Jays in that division, you're telling me that they're 5 games over 500. Like I can't see that. I'm sorry. Like I love the faith that you
All right,
have
all right,
personally.
Gray. All right, no. So I can see what you're saying in the aspect of the fact that they're probably going to lose more games than they win against the Yankees. 100%. I can see that. See, I don't think the Rays and the Blue Jays are like that like complete utter domination yet. Brooksy's got something like
The Red
squealing
Sox
in his
will
head.
win more games than the Rays. You heard
What?
it here. The Red
The Red
Sox will
Sox
win more games than the Rays.
Oh my
I'm
I like
selling
it.
hard on the Rays. There's going to be a
Oh
little
my.
bit of falling back to earth, and I think people are writing off the Sox. I think Franchi Cordero, they got him in there. They picked up Ottavino.
Yeah.
They're filling in some names. It's not a bunch of, the same zombies out there. And like you said,
Not like it
Sale's
was
coming
last year.
back. I think they're
Mhm.
going to get more games than the Rays.
Top 5 worst is definitely exaggeration.
So speaking of the Rays, let's
There's no chance there's no chance they're not the 4th best team in this division. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It's just I can't see it. I really
Right.
can't see it.
all right. So let's transition to the Rays. All right. I see where you're coming from, Dre. I see where you're coming from. Let's transition to the Rays. Where do you think they end up?
The Rays,
Yes.
as currently constructed right now, the Rays are easily
2 days away from opening day. Yes.
easily the 2nd best team in this division.
Brooksy, what would you say to refute that? Because obviously you're thinking the complete opposite.
I mean, I think it's going to be close. Like, I just think that there's going to be a little bit of coming back to earth. Like, I think losing a lot of the arms in the pitching staff and Anderson going down on the IL, like they're losing 3
Oh,
big
they lost
arms.
Nick Anderson.
What's that?
All right, I'm gonna flip that. They're gonna be the 3rd best team in this division.
So like they're losing
No,
3
Nick-
arms that they had all last year. And I think, Glasnow's great. I don't know if he's, pillar of a rotation, putting people on his back. They still have other arms there at his disposal. But, I look at a core of Devers, Bogarts, and Martinez coming back a little bit more to earth. Like, he was absolutely awful last year. And then I look at the Rays, who may have a better top to bottom team, but I'm not seeing the same amount of firepower there. So that's my rationale where I'm putting it. I'm putting them, the Red Sox, the Rays, and the Blue Jays all within that like 5-win mark of each other. Their order, you'll have to tune in later in the episode.
So you think like the spread between the teams is going to be really small? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's going to be the Yankees, the Orioles, and then the 3 of these teams. I think the one that I like most is the Blue Jays. But I mean, I think the Rays are going to have a little bit falling back on the mean. I mean, I think you can't, replace guys like Charlie Morton and Blake Snell. Like, those are 2 guys that can go out there and consistently pitch like 6-7 innings, and that's going to be more arms that are going to be, hit in the bullpen. I think there's going to be a little bit tougher of a year for them.
And you're right. The Nick Anderson injury completely changes my stance on the Rays. That's something I was not aware of. I'm not gonna lie. As I look at their roster right now,
they also lost 2 of their starters though. Like Charlie.
Losing 2 of their starters, again, it's infuriating. But you're talking to me. This is the best bullpen in the league, and it's by a long shot. It's not even close. Like that. If anybody can overcome that, it's the Rays, because they're always 2 steps ahead. They're always 2 steps ahead of everybody. Like, this is what they do. They prepare for this. Like, there's a reason why they let those guys walk and they have the arms in their pennant they have, because they added guys like Colin McHugh who can go multiple innings. And there he had guys like Nick Anderson who went multiple innings as well as Peter Fairbanks. But I like the Rays, not only because they're smarter than everybody else, they're also stacked in their farm system, and they have a guy named Luis Patino who's supposed to come up this year, at least according to Fangraphs. His ETA is 2021. Pre-show we were talking about Brendan McKay, who
Yeah.
right now is not on their roster, but is right there waiting for the opportunity. The point is that yeah, they lost the starters, but what they lose in starting, they make up in innovation, and because they're one of the first ones
Yeah.
to no, they're actually the first team to implement the opener. So my whole point is like Glasnow is getting talked about as Cy Young this year. We'll see if he can do it. Yarborough's their number 2, isn't sexy at all. They block a Archer Rich Hill, who can be, if they can get something out of them, they have the
Archer.
pen in order to make up for the losses. Like if those guys can give them 4 innings, I mean, ideally you don't want that, but like if they go 4, McHugh can maybe go 3. Sometimes they get 5. Like, you know, I that's a team that can do it. So they're not going to win 90 games like they did last year. There's just no chance.
But you're not talking, this is a 162 game season though, Trey. Like
No,
you're,
not
you're
they
talking
didn't
about
win 90 games last year. I'm sorry, because
you're talking about walking the bullpen out there every single night. Like that's going to tax them.
No,
like, throughout
it is going to tax them, but also again, with a guy like Glasnow, you expect him not to go 2, 3, 4 innings. That's a guy that's going to go give you 6, 7 every night. So that's where you rest your pen. And then Yarborough, they're counting on at least sort of to do similar stuff in terms of eating up innings, not in terms of pure domination. So if you're asking me if they're going to win 90 some games like they did 2 years ago, that's just not going to happen. But if you're asking me if they got a chance to be second best team in this division, I'm not picking them to be second.
That's not far fetched.
But it's not far fetched. It's just the thing is with this division, it's like Brooksy said, it's the Yankees, it's the Orioles, and then everyone else in between. I guess we're all going to differ on exactly how
Where
that
they
goes. And
I think we're pretty close. I think we're all pretty close.
I'm a Rays stand, but again, Nick Anderson outside the 2, Nick Anderson plus the 2 starters, that's like, all right, I got to take a step back.
Yeah, I think, you know, they're a team that if anybody could overcome something like that, it would be the Rays. And I think the one team that's sort of in that same tier, you know, the Blue Jays, they're probably in terms of acquisitions in the division, the team that made, you know, the most noise. Like they added George Springer, Marcus Simeon. Trying to think, did they add any pitchers?
They added Robbie Ray last year.
Blue Jays?
That was last year, maybe. Steven Matz.
Yeah, it was last year. It was during last year.
No, they added Ray. They added Ray this offseason.
Yeah, so
No, they added
a
him.
1-year deal.
Didn't they have him at the trade deadline?
Robbie Ray?
Yeah.
I think so. I thought they re-signed him. I thought they signed him a contract. I could be wrong. We might have got him at the deadline, but they have him. That's all.
Yeah, who knows? But they have, you know, the infield of sons of ball players, and you add Marcus Simeon to that, and you have you put a guy like George Springer out in center field. I think, you know, that's a lineup that very competitively, like you have, you know, a bunch of young guys and, you know, solid, steady pieces. It's about like, oh, okay, well, how high can these young guys carry them? And, you know, I think if I had to put my money on one of these teams, the 3 that we just listed to get second, I think it would be the Blue Jays. I think, you know, with some of the moves that they made, they're, you know, beefing up and sort of putting the ball in the court of their young guys. And if they take a step up, I think they're going to be not up to the Yankees level, but I think they could get that wild card.
This could be a case of and I guess it's odd because they made playoffs last year, but again, it was COVID season, 8 teams. With them going back to the normal format, this could be the AL version of the Padres in terms of like breakout, not in terms of like, oh, are they here? Are they not? Like this can be a fun team to watch, and all of a sudden they just took the league by storm, you know. And now the Padres are all of a sudden vaulted into superstardom and World Series favoritism. I think the Blue Jays are sort of right there, you know, in terms of like going into this year. It's going to be interesting to see exactly this young infield, which brings the question: is this the best? This could potentially be the best infield in baseball. Would you guys agree? Like in all of baseball, not just this division, not just A. I mean, all of baseball. Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment to say? I mean,
Trying to think who.
it's tough, I guess, because we haven't seen Vlad play first, but like, I think
I
it's
think
entirely
I mean,
possible.
it's really, I mean, you got to look at a team like the Padres, who has Manny at third. Fucking oh
Tatis.
my god, why am I
Yeah, you're
blanking
right.
now?
They got
Yeah,
Tatis. I'm
Cronenworth,
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Hosmer.
Hosmer might want to Gold Glove. So yeah, I'm probably crazy, I guess.
I mean, that's the team that comes to my mind. But I mean, I think they got to be up there. They got to be at least top 5. That's
In
for
Major
sure.
League Baseball, without a doubt. This division, also no doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just excited for this. I'm excited for this team. The very young team.
Yeah. I mean,
Their whole core is there, and adding George Springer is big time.
I think we talked about 2 or 3 years. I mean, from when we first started the podcast, right, to when we did the video last year and Brooksy came on that. I mean, I think the Blue Jays have always been a team we've like loved to talk about, specifically because of Vladdy Jr. But I mean, they have all of this exciting talent that's kind of coming up through their organization, and it's finally hitting the big leagues. And I think we talked about it a little bit at the beginning of last year, like, oh, I can't wait till this team breaks out and all of these guys are actually on the big leagues, and now we're seeing it. And the front office is putting the right pieces around them, like George Springer, and a couple other guys, and it's becoming a really exciting team to watch. I mean, and then you put the pitching rotation together. I mean, you got Robbie Ray, you got a couple other guys in there. Twan Walker, I think they traded for last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, all of a sudden they're a fun team to watch, but they're also a fun team that is going to be in the chase.
Yeah, we got to see now. Like you said, been big Blue Jay stands because it's like they're coming. I think when you sign a guy like George Springer, and then last year, 2 years ago with Hyunjin Ryu, it's like, all right, now they're here. So now let's see them take that next step. We want to see. We don't want to see him. We don't want to see him float around 500. That's what you do whenever you have talent. I think now the talent's sort of to the point where it's time to be established. So just want to see more out of him.
Oh, 100%. And then obviously, I mean, guys, we go to the Yankees. I mean, is this Yankees team going to be better than it was last year? Or are they going to be right around the same?
It's tough.
I mean, I think it would be your hope that they would be better. I mean, I think they battled a good amount of injuries, but then they also had guys like Luke Voigt that I don't know if he's a candidate to, have some regression back to the mean. I think the thing that they needed to do, I mean, it's not your typical sexy Lamborghini Yankees off season. They got just another bat like Jay Bruce, which I'm sure in Yankee Stadium will be suited just fine. And then they just added, some more arms. I'm sure, Yankees fans may have wanted something more, but, the Yankees needed an arm past Garrett Cole, and Tanaka's no longer there. They got rid of Paxton. Yeah. Jay Happ's no longer there. And they, fed it back in with, guys that, buy low guys that have like huge upside. So one former 2-time, maybe more Cy Young winner, Corey Kluber is coming in. And then also a guy like Jameson Taillon, who they got from the Yankees. So you put them alongside Montgomery and Herman. And I think that's sort of like their starting rotation. And like, that they have the offense and the firepower to do it. It's just a matter of, how much can their pitching behind Garrett Cole go. And I think, that's just going to be the answer for that. But I think, they far and away the division favorites. And in terms of, expectations, I don't know why, but for some reason, my expectations internally for them weren't as high as they were last year. Last year, after getting Garrett Cole, it was just like championship or bust. And
if they don't win the World Series, it's like.
Well, it's easy to kind of say that because it's easy to kind of halt the brakes because we're talking about two of their biggest acquisitions is a two-time Tommy John surgery recipient in Jamison Tyon, and then Corey Kluber, who I get at one point he did have it, so he's two-time Cy Young winner.
There's a
But
reason.
like now you're taking the guy that's progressing and you're putting him into one of the worst pitcher stadiums out there and asking him to give you number two stuff at his age.
Yeah.
And you add that on top of them with their injuries, where they already lost Luke Boyd to a partial meniscus tear, and it looks like Chapman's suspended. But the bottom line is that I think that with the Yankees, obviously the expectations are there to go to the World Series, but like definitely not as high on them in the league as
Yeah.
I was last year. You know, and their offense is still going to be really good. You know, I expect guys like Gary Sanchez to bounce back, and I wouldn't say Glaber had a bad year, but like he didn't have the year I would have expected. But the bottom line is that still the Yankees, you still got Judge, still got Stanton, like I said, Glaber. Looks like Clint Frazier's finally going to get everyday playing time. So they're just lucky that they play in the AL East, honestly, because with these
Normally you can't say that.
with the Blue Jays, Blue Jays not being there,
To play in the
with the Blue Jays trying to take a step forward, you know, and then the Rays, who were their competition, taking basically like 2 steps back, and the Red Sox just not being there. It's there should be no reason why they wouldn't win this division. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah. So are we all sold on the Yankees winning this division? I would assume that's your division pick.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna go Yankees. I'm gonna go Yankees, Blue Jays, Rays, Red Sox, Orioles.
Switch the Rays and the Red Sox for me. So Red Sox third, Rays fourth.
I don't know if anyone's writing this down.
I'm
Wait,
not.
so are we doing, should we just do, you know, at the end, just go through division winners and wild cards?
Yeah, we'll just do that.
All right. If you want to do the exact order, I can also type that in.
No, we'll just do division winners and wild cards at the
Alright.
end. So obviously AL Central, Indians, Twins, Tigers, White Sox, Royals. Is this a 3-team race in the AL Central? I mean, I don't see the Tigers or the Royals doing any damage just to start off with, but I mean the Indians, the Twins. Actually, I mean, is it a 2-team race? Because obviously the Indians lost Cookie Carrasco, they lost Francisco Lindor. I guess, I mean, just what are your thoughts on this division? I guess to start off with, I don't know if that would be the easier way to do it. Would just be to talk about the division in general rather than running down.
Yeah, we
Each
can just
team.
do that. I think
Yeah.
when we get to the NL Central, we'll realize why this is a good.
Yeah.
Um,
So I mean, is this a 2-team race?
A 2-team race?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I think you have the team that probably like invested the most in the AL, I would say. I mean, maybe the Blue Jays, but I think, you know, what the White Sox did was great. Like everything that they invested in, it really sucks that in the last week, Eloy Jimenez went down for, you know, pretty brutal injury, and I don't know like how much action he's going to get in there. But I think, you know, you could probably go back in the recording that we did last year, and I probably counted out the Indians, and they probably came back and surprised me with some new hot stuff pitcher that they have. But I think that this is 2-team race at the top of it, and I think, you know, all eyes will be on the White Sox to really sort of come in, especially after last year. They come in with a new manager, with some new pieces there, and I think should be interesting.
I hate the managerial hire.
Yeah, I don't like it. All eyes will be on it.
It makes zero sense. You think Tony La Russa is the guy to lead this team, and finding out, I guess, why they hired him is because they wanted to make amends for the last time they tried to hire him when apparently he was up for the job. He
When
didn't get
Wi-Fi
it
was
and
no
went to
such
St.
thing.
Louis, and Jerry Reinsdorf wanted to make amends. Like, get the hell out of here. Get
Not
Larissa
really,
stinks.
Yeah,
So
that's ridiculous. All right.
I guess if we're gonna answer the question, Mac, I guess this is a 2-team race. I guess.
Yeah.
But I have zero faith in the Twins winning this division, even with Eloy Jimenez going down.
Mhm.
And
So-
I say that because honestly, their lineup's still freaking stacked, top to bottom, with talent. I mean, they lost Eloy, who probably their second best hitter, at least, in
Talking
my
about the White
mind.
Sox.
Yeah, the White Sox is, Jose Abreu is the MVP. But they're adding Andrew Vaughn. They're adding him. It was their first round pick a couple years ago, and they're adding him to the DH. So there's that. And not only that, they have the best pitching. They added Lance Lynn as well.
And
So-
Hendrick.
And then they got Liam Hendricks to
Yeah.
close the door. So I mean, when you look at the Twins, like the Twins have talent, but I just don't see them stacking up, especially to the Chicago White Sox. I think it's their division to lose. I think that they're not going to lose unless it's all on LaRusso, which is entirely possible because I hate that guy. But it's just tough. I mean, going to the Twins, I mean, they got better defensively, which is cool because they got in Drelton Simmons, but there's question marks with guys like Sano still. Does Donaldson still have enough in the tank? What about Polanco? 2 years ago, he's sort of in the MVP conversation. Last year, he sort of disappeared. So it's just there's just so many question marks about the Twins. But they could do it. If anybody out of this division can compete, it's them. But I'm just not as high on them as what I was last year, especially last year. And then 2
They
years
got
ago,
Randy Dobnak for the mustache. Randy
Dobnak.
Dobnak mustache. Dude,
Dobnak stash.
that thing's gorgeous. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's solid. It's a solid stash.
I mean, I think like it's hard to count out the Indians because I mean, obviously Tito is one. I think Tito is one of the best managers in the game in general. But I mean, like you said, Dre, I think this is the White Sox division to lose. I mean, they've made so many good additions over the past 2 years. They have so much talent. They have so much young talent, and they have a couple big bats with a lot of good arms. So it's hard to say like they're not going to win, but I feel like on this podcast we always count out a few teams. One of the teams is the Athletics, but I think sometimes the Twins are the other one. I mean, I think we were all heavy on the Twins last year just because of what they did in 2019. But yeah, I think they're always a team you got to put in the mix, especially when they have the pitching to get it done. I don't know if they have that pitching this year, but I feel like they'll always have the bats.
I will honestly say, looking at the Indians, their pitching is probably the best in the division
Yeah.
in terms of talent. I mean, Shane Bieber's he's the ace, so he's on him. That's automatically number one. But Plesac's really good. They kept him after the debacle last year. About with coronavirus and stuff. And Savali's not a scrub. Savali's pretty good. He's a good number 3, but Tristan McKenzie's the guy I'm really trying to get to. He's their number 4. And when he came in last year when Plesac was down, he was pretty good. And he made the rotation. He's their number 4. He's one of their top prospects. He's one of the best pitching prospects in baseball. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can, rise to the occasion. But if they do win, it's solely because of their pitching. It's just hard to believe in this offense when now all they really have is Ramirez and Reyes, and Franmil's not even the hitter that, he's not even like a 300 hitter guy. He's a 30 homer guy, and he can strike out a lot. So, losing Lindor sucks, and that's what really that's where I kind of take a step back.
Yeah, we'll get to see the piece that they got back as the everyday shortstop for them. So that'll just be, interesting. I just think it's, big guy to lose, and already that, roster had some holes in it, especially in the outfield. And, Eddie Rosario is in a full addressing of that. So I think they're a step back, but certainly have the best pitching as all the other ones.
Oliver Perez is still
Yeah.
Just going on out there.
The hero.
The hero, the pride of Pittsburgh, the original pride of Pittsburgh.
It's definitely going to be an interesting division. We'll kind of see what happens. So do we want to save our picks until like the end, until we go through all of the divisions and give the division picks at the end with the wild cards?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I will say this before I guess we're moving on because what's the point of talking about the Tigers and the Royals? The Tigers are a team that's going to be 2 years away.
Mhm.
I like some of their pieces, but I won't say 2 years. I'm gonna say they're like 4 years away. They got pieces coming. So in Torkelson and then Casey Mize.
What's up? So the AL West obviously is always an interesting division with the Athletics, the Rangers, the Mariners, the Astros, and the Angels. The last 2 years, I think this has been another division where we've kind of just been like, all right, Astros, check. Is that the case anymore? I mean, with what they have, with what they've lost, is this the Astros division to lose, or is it a wide open race? Brooksy.
This is like the one that I would just like never actually get this prediction right in this division. I mean, it's the triple A's and then the rest of them.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. So the Angels added Quintana, correct? Jose Quintana.
They did add Quintana.
All right. So I know I fell into this trap last year where I predicted the Angels and they fell flat on their face. And I'm just more doing my due diligence thinking of the other teams. I mean, I think the Astros, like they're really so they're missing Springer, and then they have the guys like Kyle Tucker coming in filling behind them. They still just have a solid core that I think that I'm having difficulty looking away from. So I think it's one of those divisions where, I think the top three could go in either direction. But I'm not going to say my prediction yet. But I just think the Astros still just have a ton of firepower. I think Michael Brantley is criminally underrated, and they still have, a guy like Bregman situated on that corner there. So I think I have the most confidence in them, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to pick them to win the division.
This is without a doubt the toughest division to pick.
Yeah.
It is extremely tough because the Astros, I mean, they were the team to beat, but they lost Springer. So that takes a blow. They don't have Verlander anymore. So with him getting Tommy John, he's still out. And you talk about Brantley, and Brantley's obviously pretty good, but it's just I guess when I look at this team, it's just like I'm not as scared of them as I would have been, facing them before.
They had the same team as they did 3 years ago, except no George Springer.
Yeah, it's
just Gonzalez there anymore.
It's odd. It's an odd phenomenon, I guess. It's like I feel like they've come down to earth, and I think we talk about a team that might actually do it. And we never ever give them credit, and it's the A's. I feel like this could be their year, and I'm not getting sucked into but the Angels got Mike Trout. Go Trout. I'm not doing it. Prove me wrong. It's time to prove me wrong. I thought they were downside and get it. I ain't getting into it.
But you got to think at least like from the fact that you want Mike Trout in the playoffs. Like, does that do anything for you? The fact that you just want him in there.
Of course, I want him in there. And it's just every year we talk about what they're missing, and they don't have it. But I truly believe this about them now. I will say this about them: if Joe Madden can adequately protect Shohei Ohtani, then I think they got a legitimate shot at this division because he's going to be their most important player, and that's not even close. Because Bunnies are ace, and he pitched pretty well last year, but now we're putting him in a 162 game season, so we'll see exactly what's up. But Ohtani didn't pitch at all last year, and this year this spring, he's been pitching and he's looked filthy. And he's their number 2. So they need him to do something in that aspect. And Joe Maddon needs to find ways to protect him and get him adequate rest. So when he does take his starts, he's not completely dead when he's thrown in the lineup. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's managed. But, if they can get a lot out of him, then I think they can win this division.
I would hope to see the Angels win this division. I mean, we talk about it every year. It's another one of those things that it's like a reoccurring conversation of, like you said, Dre, is this the year they get in? Did they make these moves they need to, get into the playoffs or win the division? I think this is one of the better chances they might have. I don't think the Astros are going to be as dominant as they have been in the past. I think it's kind of more of a wide open division, kind of like we've said. I don't really know what else to say about the rest of this division. Obviously, the Athletics always do fucking something to come out of nowhere and surprise us and get in the playoffs or something. But I don't know. I kind of sold my soul on the Mariners being good last year. I think I remember. They kind of like shit the bed early in the year and never really turned it around. So I'm not going to do that again. And the Rangers just kind of haven't really been relevant the last couple of years. So I mean, it's got to be between the Astros and the Angels. Obviously, I'll leave that up to the end of the podcast here. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say about one of the most wide open divisions in the MLB.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be, the division winner's not going to have more than 90 wins. I think it's going to be
it's not going to be
an exciting one come September, and one in which, I hope it's a 3-team race, but it's going to be, don't count the Athletics out, and the Astros have the core, and you just think that the Angels eventually have to do it. So I think, like, in terms of intrigue, actually, like, thinking through it, this is probably, like, in the AL is my favorite, but as a good preface to the NL discussion, this is probably like my third, closest division that's really going to be entertaining and tricky to pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think my favorite division is going to be the next one we talk about, but I think this one is going to be one of the tougher ones to pick. I think for sure.
So, boys, we're going to pick it. What do we got?
We'll go after the NL.
Oh, we're doing it all at the end. Okay, my bad.
Then we'll do it all at once. No, you're good.
Okay.
So the NL, National League East. This is another division that I'm. This is probably the division. This is probably the division I'm the most excited about this year. Just because the Mets. I mean, I feel like outside of Marlins. I feel like outside of the Marlins, this division has been one of the most exciting to kind of see come together. I mean, you had the Nationals win the World Series, 2 years ago? And then you have the Phillies add Bryce Harper and a couple other big guys. And then this offseason, you have the Mets make all the big moves to bring in Francisco Lindor, bring in Cookie Carrasco. They have Stroman. They have all these big arms and everything like that. Like, this is going to be one of the most exciting divisions to watch, not just because it's going to probably come down to the wire, or it's just going to be like, there's like each team, like I always have to say, because of, like, other than the Marlins, but like each team has so much firepower, and like I think it's going to be really fun to watch. What do you think, Dre?
Let's not completely shit on the Marlins here. They were a playoff team last year, and I know it's 60 games. Let's not shit on the Marlins. That's a reason why. That's the reason why it's so intriguing. The Marlins made the playoffs last year when I thought they were going to be terrible. I sat here on this podcast and I trashed them last year. I was like, this is the worst team in baseball.
We all did.
Yeah, every single one of us. I did, and I hammered them. I'm talking about me specifically. And it just so happens the worst team in baseball last year was my city. So there's that. Top to bottom, I think this is probably the strongest division in baseball. And I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Put it 100%.
And obviously we'll start with the Braves. When you look at the Braves, led by Acuna, and they're getting guys back like Soroka. They got big steps forward from Max Fried, who's the guy who I didn't expect to take steps forward. And then Ian Anderson was the guy that really kind of came on the scene as well. But they added Charlie Morton, so they didn't sit out there and not do nothing this offseason. They retained Ozuna, Marcel Ozuna. So that's a big thing. That's a big thing that they had to do, and they did that. So I think it starts with them, but you already talked about the Mets. Like I'm if there's any team, because I'm a Pirate fan, but I'm rooting for them to lose. So I want that a lot. I want that kid Elijah Green.
You gotta root for, yeah.
You know me, I'm a big Mets guy. But now this is different. This is different because the Wilpons are out. This I said it last podcast. I said it last time, and that's it. The biggest offseason acquisition was new ownership for the Mets. And
Yeah.
that already brings such a jolt in itself. But then they go out and they get Francisco Lindor, the best trade piece on the market, and they bring him into New York, and he's just ready to go. I'm pretty sure he signed an extension as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Not yet.
Might be. Not yet. Maybe it's just numbers. I thought there was numbers thrown out there. I guess the numbers that were thrown out there is that he was going to be maybe second highest
He
paid.
was
It
talking-
doesn't matter. Point is,
I know he had dinner with Cohen. Yeah, they're talking contract.
Cohen's gonna break the bank for him. I know that for a fact because that's what new owners do. I look at this as when Steve Ballmer took over the Clippers. He did the exact same thing. I know it's
Yeah.
different sports, but like that's what happens when you get big time players with big time money owning big time franchises in big time cities. He's just gonna go out there, he's gonna break the bank. We got DeGrom locked up, they got that deal. I think if anybody can beat the Braves, I think this is a team.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's, you forget, like I'm going down each team and, you just forget, okay, yeah, this division doesn't just have everything that the Mets now have, but you're also like, wow, there's also Ronald Acuna in this division, Freddie Freeman in this division, all the pitchers in the Braves that you just named. And then, holy cow, I just put those two teams on top and just completely forgot about Juan Soto and everybody that the Nationals have. And in terms of their, not a little bit more of a muted monster, but still a three-headed monster in, Corbin, Strasburg, and Scherzer. And it's just, insane what this division just has just from a pure firepower perspective. And then the Phillies, I think the pitching is going to hold the Phillies back, but then top to bottom in a lineup, what? I don't think he won Rookie of the Year. No. Devin Williams won, but Alex Baum, the third baseman for the Phillies, there's a lot of, trending upwards there. This is a division where it's almost I'm pulling for the Mets, and to the same degree, it's almost the Mets have the same Angels factor where it's and when are they gonna do it and actually gonna do it? And I just feel the Mets just have to be able to put something together here. And I think this division, if we're ranking teams in the league, in the NL, the top 4 of those teams in this division are easily the top 10 in that league, if not even higher. There's just such strength in that division, and the only issue is that they're going to be battling for not all the playoff spots available.
It's going to be wild, and it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, we'll talk about it at the end here, but it's going to be interesting to see if there's 3 teams from this division, or if someone gets ousted somehow. There's going to be a good team from this division that doesn't make the playoffs, which is going to be ridiculous to hear or see, but it's going to be fun to watch. I can't wait. I'm excited.
I am too.
And we've talked about it the last couple of years, just kind of how good this division has been, but they take another jump this year. I mean, with what the Mets have done and everything like that. Obviously we've been waiting. Dre, specifically, you have been waiting for that to take that step. And with the moves they made this offseason, especially with Cohen, I think it's huge.
Cohen's just gonna invigorate them in terms of changing the culture That's the best thing I
Yeah.
can say. Outside of the money factor, changing the culture, getting the stink of the Wilpons out of there, and putting his stamp of approval into it, it's gonna be something to watch.
Yeah. But the actual favorite division to talk about, because it has the Pirates in it, and Ray loves to scream about the Cardinals. But so I mean, let's just start it off pretty easy, guys. I don't know how else other to think about this than it's the Cardinals division. Like, am I wrong in thinking that way?
Hell no.
Yeah,
Hell no,
you're not
you're
wrong.
wrong.
I mean, I prefer it be the Cardinals division. Give them all the expectations in the world, and because
Yeah.
that's their thing. Like they win the division when they're not supposed to, and I think it's definitely going to be. It's this division is sort of like the very, and I'm going to make a comparison here, but I'm saying the very diet version of the NL East. Like you just have, the team that's, not quite in it. Then you have 4 teams that all, have their very respectable pieces. And in this case, like I think all 4 of those teams at the top, I think the Cardinals are certainly in the driver's seat, but any one of those other teams have enough pieces to overcome it. The Cardinals aren't, far and away amazing. And I know just in me saying that now at 9:22 and March 29th, they're going to win.
You're gonna regret it.
But I think like it's the NL East light. Like there's gonna be a lot of competition in this division. Wherever there's gonna come from the Cubs or the Brewers or the Reds. Like I think the Brewers probably pose the biggest threat to them, and I just think that's in terms of their pitching. So I don't think the Red or the Cardinals necessarily have this one locked up with a bow on it.
Brooksy, I like your modesty that you're portraying on the Cardinals right now, but I'm just gonna call it how it is, so I'm not disappointed later down the road. They're gonna win this division, and I don't think it's gonna be as close as what we think it is. It's
I
just
think it's gonna be a runaway. I mean,
I do too. I mean, Jack Flaherty is so close to being on the verge of superstardom, and I think this is the year he kind of takes that step. But they just got Nolan Arenado, and he's one of, if not the best defensive third baseman in the league. Now, how his bat is portrayed is going to be something to behold, but I mean, he's protected by Paul Goldschmidt. So, I mean, how bad of a step is he going to take in terms of, falling backwards? They get Jordan Hicks back, and I don't know how they're going to use him. I don't know if they're going to use him in high leverage situations or not. But, when he was healthy and not on Tommy John surgery, he was a dominant. He was a dominant piece in their bullpen. But, they have guys like Dylan Carlson. These are the guys that we don't talk about. These are the guys. This is the guy that's going to come up, and he's going to do exactly what we think Nolan Arenado should do. But he's going to do exactly what no one really, that he's going to do the typical Cardinals thing. And I'm so frustrated talking about this team all the time.
I think you want to explain that.
It's every freaking year with this team. They sell their soul to the devil, and they still somehow always just come out on top. They're the New England Patriots of baseball. This is all there is. They're a machine.
Yeah.
They're a machine. I'll go out with the old and with the new.
I just with teams that are in this division, it doesn't seem like they've done enough to kind of overtake the Cardinals. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the Brewers, we talk about it every year. They need more pitching, and they do nothing to address it. It seems like the Cubs. I don't think they're a team. Yeah, they lost Yu Darvish. They lost a couple other pieces. Arrieta's back. Arrieta's back, right?
But Arrieta's a bum.
Yeah,
you got Trevor Williams.
Arrieta.
They do got Trevor.
Yeah, they got Trevor. They're not the team that they've been in the past. But Schwarber's gone well. But I don't see anyone competing with the Cardinals. That's all. It is what it is.
I have faith in the Brewers. They are the Luke Skywalker to our evil empire. in the NL Central.
See, I've been there before, Brixie, and I get my hopes up because Christian Yelich is the man. They just don't have the pitching. They never have the pitching to get it done.
Yeah, they don't have an ace to stack up with Flaherty, and they need somebody. And I'm not saying Woodruff was
They
bad.
don't have an ace. They don't have it. They don't have an
Woodruff's
ace.
he's not Cy Young material where Flaherty is. So and their lineup, they have Yelich, but like Yelich also he got that money. He took a step back last year, so he
Yeah.
needs to bounce back. There's just a bunch of ifs with them, the Brewers, and looking at the Reds, they don't have Bauer anymore, so they're just not going to be there. I know
Yeah.
Kessie is pretty good. Wow, I think that was just for the cover. Oh my God, that was the cover. I'm sorry, I'm watching basketball.
Yeah, I'm watching too. I think I'm on a delay.
They just
Go.
hit a 3. The spread is 8 and they're down 6. Oh my God, they're gonna foul. They're gonna push. Oh my God.
Wait, who do you have?
I have Oregon State +8.
I have Houston -8. Yeah. All right. Let's see what happens.
Oh, that's insane. We'll find out.
We're forgetting, and this is just going to be me. And then 2 months into the season, I'll come back down to earth, but I'm still going to be naive. We're forgetting that the Pirate killer Colton Wong is no longer on the Cardinals.
He's on the
He's
Brewers.
now on the Brewers.
Yeah, they
He's
got
infiltrated.
They
They got a
didn't
new
need him. The Brewers always kick our ass. Especially
Nolan
in
ever got
Milwaukee.
a killer now.
Especially in Milwaukee. It's the House of Horrors.
Yeah,
Colton Wong is going to hit for the cycle in every series that they play. Because you take him and you put him in the House of Horrors, it's just not going to be good for the Pirates. The only thing that could make it worse is if they also had Billy Hamilton,
Yeah.
who turns into the second coming of Tim Raines.
He missed
Out
the free
there.
throw.
Just hits like crazy. Oh, game's over. They just covered. That's insane to me. Unreal. That's unbelievable. Oh, Houston's moving on, but they just covered with 3.5. Good teams win, great teams cover. Take that lessons, boys and girls.
But so I know West obviously is another division we've kind of been waiting to talk about, I guess. 2-team race.
Yes.
Padres, Dodgers. I mean, are the other 3 teams, the Rockies, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, are they even worthy of a conversation this year?
We could talk about the Rockies as being one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball. I hope they're not, but they're gonna be one of the top 2 worst teams in baseball. I hope it's the Pirates, but based off the way Kevin Newman and Adam Frazier have been hitting this spring, plus Cabrian Hayes is a monster, probably going to win Rookie of the Year. I can honestly see the Pirates playing themselves out of being in that first spot because the Rockies are so bad. The Giants and the Diamondbacks are just kind of there. 3-4, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that's the gist of my conversation about those teams. I have nothing else to say.
I mean, I think we mentioned them. Yeah.
I'm so excited for Dodgers Padres.
So are the other 3 teams in the division.
Yeah, they're gonna be watching these games. Like
They're like,
they don't
okay.
care. They're just excited as we are.
It's like 2 powerhouses just going at it multiple times in the same season.
It's Tyson
It's gonna be fun to watch
for 20 games.
Yeah, I can't wait. Obviously, we've talked about both teams at length, but it's like 2 super teams. It's like if you put, if you were to, it's like the I don't even know how to say it. Like it's like the NBA super team of the MLB. Both of these teams. It's like the Los Angeles Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets of the NBA. They just have stacked rosters, stacked pitching rotations. And they're just gonna be duking it out all year long.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's gonna be just really, I like that this division does have that like little brother feel, to it. and it's going to be fiery. It's going to be exciting. I'm just bummed that it's on the West Coast. I have a bedtime.
Yeah, we don't. Me too. Me too. It's gonna be interesting to watch, but we'll see how it goes
I
down.
was just trying to work.
It's like the Dodgers take them down. Huh?
So yeah, I gotta try and work from home so I can watch at least one of these games.
Yeah.
Watching these two teams. Give me the matchup of Tatis versus Bauer, and Bauer just being the dick that he is, coming high and inside on him and try to establish dominance, and then all of a sudden Tatis just drills one, bat flips and stares him down, and the bench is clear. I can already see it happening, and it's going to happen real early in the season. It's going to set the tone for the entire year because everyone knows the winner of this division has the biggest advantage in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it cannot be stressed enough that whoever wins this division has such an advantage because, I mean, if they go into the loser, it's going to go into 1-game playoff. But the 1-game playoffs probably, in my
Against
guess,
DeGrom, Scherzer,
it could be someone from the
Fried,
NL East.
Soroka.
Like, not Nola. I'll say that.
I didn't say that.
Not Sixto. He's not even on their team right now. But bottom line is that you don't want to go into a 1-game playoff, you know? So it's because anything could happen. So the tone's going to be set early because they know exactly what's going to happen when it comes to this division. The division goes to the Dodgers, but the Dodgers know that the Padres are ready to come at their necks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. Obviously the Dodgers are the team that's established themselves. Padres are working their way up through, and I think this could be it should be the year that they break out and they kind of start challenging some teams throughout the MLB. So it's gonna be. I hope they make a run. I think it's about that time.
Looking at
But
this,
all right, guys.
Yeah, and what? They won like 9. How many straight division championships have they won? 8?
Dodgers?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 sounds about right. Just because I think the Giants were the last ones to win the division.
Yeah.
I don't think the Rockies did when they made the playoffs in 18. But yeah, Dodgers have definitely won how many straight division championships, and I think the 2 best teams in Major League Baseball in this division. So, and I think the Dodgers, being that they're the champs, they have that extra bullseye on their back to, for the extra incentive for the Dodgers or for the Padres to beat them.
Should we do some predictions?
Yeah, I think it's that time. Guys. All right, so we'll start in the American League. Is someone gonna write these down?
I got it.
All right, so we'll start in the American League. And we'll each. So it's what, 3 division winners and 2 wild cards. They're going back to normal, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just go one by one and just list off your entire prediction. Dre, how about you go first?
Starting in the East?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just go through them all.
All right. I'm going to go Yankees, Blue Jays, Rays, Red Sox, Orioles.
Just division
Wait, just
winners.
your winner. Give me your 3 division winners and your 2 wild cards.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
You're good. You're good.
East, I'm picking Yankees.
Okay.
Central, I'm picking White Sox. The West, I'm picking Athletics. I'm no longer sleeping on that team. I'm not.
Right.
I think
you didn't talk about that at all.
I think the Astros have come down to earth enough where it's gonna be enough for the A's to finally win the division. Wild card teams, I'm going Blue Jays. I'm going Angels. I gotta see it. I just have to see it.
You son of a bitch.
Wow.
All right. I'll go. I got Yankees, White Sox, Astros. I'm gonna go with Athletics and Blue Jays.
I'm gonna regret that Angels pick. I know it.
All right.
I'm gonna go Yankees, White Sox, Astros, and then I'm gonna go
I heard
Uh,
Mariners.
Twins, Blue Jays.
All right.
I like the Twins pick. It's very
So we
safe.
all got the Blue Jays as a wild card squad, and you said the Astros, right, Greg?
Yes, it is.
All right, and now we got the NL. Greg, lead us off in the NL.
Okay. I'm gonna go. This is gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna go Mets, Cardinals, Padres, and then I'm gonna go Braves, Dodgers.
All right. Dre?
Calling it. Coming up.
I am gonna go. I'm gonna go Braves in the East. It's tough to pick against the Mets, so I'm gonna go the Braves. Prove me wrong. Cardinals. I'm gonna go Dodgers. And I'm gonna go DeGrom and Padres.
All right. I'm going to go Braves. Do I want to do it? No. Cardinals. I wanted to do the Brewers, but I was like, I also want to try to be correct. Dodgers. Padres. Sorry, Dre. I have the exact same thing as you.
That's fine.
All right. Real quick, we'll do MVPs, Cy Young.
Okay.
Manager,
Year.
rookies of the year.
Is that good? All right. So MVP in the AL, I'm gonna go. I'll just mix it up here. Aaron Judge.
Oh, bad pick. Not a bad pick at all.
I'm gonna go Mike Trout.
All right.
It's up to me. Yeah, I gotta go Trout too. It's just hard not to pick Mike Trout.
All right. We'll do AL Cy Young.
Who's first here?
Either you two.
I'll go first.
Dre, you take it.
I am going to go Garrett Cole.
All right. Greg.
Verlander.
Okay. He's a hero. Tommy John surgery with
What?
and a Cy Young.
Wait a second. When does he get Tommy John surgery?
It's already locked in.
Yeah, it's
too
no.
late.
in. I typed it.
They
the
typed
key's
it.
broken.
Delete key's gone.
Yeah.
He got Tommy John in the fall.
Damn. How did I miss that? Glass now.
That's a really good one. I think you missed it because of all the noise from the garbage cans banging.
Probably.
We're still here.
I'm gonna go Giolito.
That's who it was.
All right. Greg, you go first. AL Manager of the Year. I'll let you know Clint Hurdle is no longer employed. So don't
Thank you. I appreciate that.
If you don't know the name, I may Google the name quick. I just want to make sure I get it right. I'll go first.
Okay.
What's Charlie Montoyo of the Blue Jays.
Who's next?
Matt is in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Joe Madden.
Mark Madden.
Yeah.
I'm not happy when I say this, but I'm going with Tony La Russa.
All right. Did we do Rookie of the Year?
Not yet.
I don't know any good rookies. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll go Madrigal.
I like that pick. I want to see something real quick. Oh, they're not ready. I'm still going. Go ahead, Mac.
I don't know
Trust
any.
you.
I'm not gonna lie.
Would you like a Rosarina?
Yeah, go Rosarina. Yeah,
Dre?
yeah, that's what I want. Yep.
I just want to see an ETA for this one person. Oh, if that's true, Fangraph says it's not true. So I'm on. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go Andrew Vaughn.
What were you thinking of doing?
I was thinking Bobby Witt Jr.,
Hmm.
but MLB says that Wander Franco is gonna be up this year. I just want everybody to know right now, I'll put this on record, that if Wander Franco is called up to the majors this year, he's gonna win Rookie of the Year. He's not my pick because I don't know. I got two different websites that say his ETA is different, but he's also in single A, so it's like it's just really hard. But he's 20 years old. Point
Yeah.
is that this dude's he's the prodigy. He's the prodigy of prospects. He's number one on every single list. No matter where you look, it does not matter. The second he comes up is the second he wins Rookie of the Year.
I'll believe that.
Interesting.
All right, so I think that puts a bow in the AL. So NL MVP.
Lindor.
All right, I'll go Tatis.
I'll go Acuna.
All right, was this the first one that we? Oh no, we've been having all different recently. NL Cy Young.
Who's up?
I'll go. I'll go Bueller.
Damn you.
Bueller.
Knew that was coming. You want to take Bueller too?
I'm gonna go Bauer. I'm gonna go Bauer.
All right. You want to go Kershaw? We just each get a different Dodger.
No, I wouldn't go him. I'm gonna go Jack Flaherty.
All
He's gonna
right.
beat up on the NL
So
Central, so I expect him to kind of do
next up, manager of the year.
Who's the Padres manager?
Luis Rojas.
I'm gonna go Luis Rojas.
He is? Was he there last year? Are we sure?
Wait, no, Tingler. Jace Tingler. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Rojas
is
already
the
had it
Mets
typed in for me.
manager.
Rojas is the Mets. And I took Rojas.
I'm also taking Rojas.
All right. And then rookie of the year, I
Just-
will take
You
my
already know.
boy, Brian Hayes.
Just type him in for me too.
Greg, can I type him in for you too?
Nope. I'm gonna go Ian Anderson with the Braves.
All right.
So I'm different.
All right. So
I like that too.
all right, who wins the AL pennant? Who wins the NL? Or like just give me your World Series pick.
Oh gosh, this one's tough. I'm really high on the Mets this year, so I'm gonna go Mets Yankees. I think the Mets make a run. Dre's not happy about that pick.
All right.
No, I'm not
Dre, who
happy.
would you like to go with?
I have the same pick. Mets Yankees.
Oh. Oh damn. All right.
That's what I'm shaking my head. I thought it was gonna be different. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, everyone's on the Dodgers and Padres. Like, no, I'm taking the Mets.
Dude, I've been high on the Mets for like I love the Mets pitching the last couple years.
Are we a Mets
Best.
podcast now? Is that what's happening?
No, dude, I've been
This is awesome.
Trying to think. Want to mix it up. I'm just gonna refuse to let myself pick the Dodgers or the Yankees, so I'm gonna go with Braves White Sox.
Okay.
Just to wing it. Let's find out. All right. I think that's it.
I think that's it. That's the
Thanks for
prediction
the
episode,
support.
guys.
I'll send this out. And I
It's gonna be
promise I won't.
interesting.
Wait, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got it all. All right,
Nice.
boys.
We got any bold predictions, like a triple crown?
I think we are going to have a team lose more than 100 and what's a lot of losses?
120 would be 2/3.
That'd be a
what did
lot
some
of
team
loss.
lose recently? I think like the most. I think a team's gonna win or lose more than 115 games. And it's gonna
It's
be
a lot.
your Colorado Rockies.
Pirates
lot
ain't
of
getting
losses.
Elijah Green, are they?
It's a lot of losses.
I better start doing research on the second, third, fourth best players in this next draft. Because Elijah Green's the prize. No, this draft's stacked with high school guys, so it doesn't matter. I hear the guys after Elijah Green are going to be monstrous too. So, but Elijah Green's the prize.
Yeah.
He's a guaranteed five-tool prospect. So he just doesn't deserve to go to a trash ass franchise like the Colorado Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves better. People
Like
want
the
to
Steel
say
City.
people are going to say the Pirates are a trash franchise, and it's no, they have trash ownership. The Rockies are a trash franchise. At least the Pirates have direction right now. The Rockies have nothing, and they got nothing for Nolan Arenado. They paid $50 million to get rid of Nolan Arenado and got nothing in return. But that's what they do. They have a history of doing bad stuff like this. It's atrocious how bad that franchise is run. It's one of the worst run franchises in Major League Baseball.
All right, guys. Well, this is it for the recording episode of Heart of the Order, or the prediction episode of the Heart of the Order. We'll see you again in a week, and we will actually have baseball to talk about. More baseball to talk about. Actual like playing
Live
games
baseball on the diamond.
live baseball on the diamond in Major League Baseball parks all over the country. Can't wait. Until then, guys. Peace.
We earned it.
Go Mets.
Ian.